Hey, it's the Chief from Bonding with Board Games, also known as Bart Brunchino. I got Greg Schmidtkins and Judge Vance. HAMTAG.
HAMTAG, we're here. All right.
Today we're doing the top 5 filler games. So we didn't like hard define what a filler game is, but kind of in my mind, I'm thinking 20 minutes or less. What are you?
I would have said 30.
30?
I said 30.
Okay.
The way I did is I got a friend back, Rob, and I call him the king of fillers. He has zillions of these things.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I kind of had my idea, and I said, what would be yours? And he wrote me mine, and he had one of mine on there. I said, okay, 30.
There you go. 30 is good. I won't balk at 30 at all. I think that's perfect. I'm going to kick it off. I'm going to start off with Coloretto. Coloretto is just a nice, simple card game. You're set collecting. Kind of the cool thing is the top 3 sets that you collect are going to score you positive points, and any additional sets you end up picking up will hurt you. They're going to be negative and taking off. There's a whole deal on what's out there and how you take them, and you kind of get trapped into stuff. But it's just a great filler game. It used to be real popular, kind of, 2006-ish, and it's kind of I don't see it as much anymore. So, but Coloretto, I just love it. Great game. Kind of has a different look to it. And my number 5.
Okay.
Me?
Okay, my number 5 filler game is a game called Unexpected Treasures. This is a game by Friedman Freeze. It's about garage sales where you're collecting old clocks or radios or chairs or tables, and you get points for those things. But if you collect into sets, so it's a set collection game, if you get 2 tables and 2 chairs and a radio, then instead of being worth the vanilla 15 points, now it becomes worth 20 points. So it's worth points to you to collect items. And the interesting mechanic about this game is there's a pool of items to draw from, and then everybody plays. It plays up to 6. You place face down a number from 0 to 6. If you play, or I guess 0 to 5. If you play a 1, that means you get to go first, but you only get to pick 1 item. If you play a 3, you would go third, but you get to get 3 of those items. So, and it depends on how many of them are left. And if you play the 0, then you're a thief. You get to steal an item from a number of items from the other people who are shopping. The other mechanic that it does is if we both play a 1, we have another token that's in front of us, and whoever has the lowest number token will be able to go that turn, but then has to switch that token. So next turn, I will be lower than you if we match again. So, it plays quickly, plays in the 30 minutes. It's a little set collection game. There's cute little cardboard counters for all of the items. So Unexpected Treasures is my number 5 filler game.
We'll have to break that out sometime.
Okay. My number 5 was introduced to me by this guy. No thanks. First time I went and hung out with the Wichita board gamers, he said, hey, we're playing this, want to join us? I played it, I was blown away, and I thought, why didn't I think of this game? It's one of those games. Card game, I think it's, 2 through 36 is the numbers? Or 4 through 36, I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you're in the right range.
The idea is you don't want the cards. So the card's flipped over, and you either take it, which is going to hurt you, or you put a chip. You got these little chips in your hand. You throw a chip on that goes to the next guy. Somebody's going to take it and all the chips. The chips are negative points. So 8-point card, 9 chips, actually -1. What makes it interesting is if you have 23, 22, 21, and 20 all in a row, only the 20 counts. So you'll be up there with like a 30-point card, and it's like, oh, that hurts. But then the next one's flipped over, is 31. Nobody wants it except you, because it doesn't do anything, and you're just going to get all these chips.
Chip collector.
And it's like a game of chicken with people. And I don't remember what it plays, like 3 through 5 or something.
Oh.
3 through 5.
Yeah.
I take this to family get-togethers like Thanksgiving, Christmas. Very addictive game. Anybody can play it. Very fast. You can say we're going to keep playing until somebody breaks 100, 200, pick your number, and then we're going to add up the lowest score wins. Very addictive, very quick, perfect filler.
Yeah, you may see this on my list in a little bit. Number 4 for me, however, is Love Letter. There's been a lot of this going on. They're spinning it off with different titles that kind of tweak it a little bit. It's funny, the name itself, people are kind of like, although everybody in board game world knows about it now. But I love pulling this out, and it's you have 2 cards, and you're gonna play one of them, and you want to stay in and not get found out or who you are, because there's guards trying to it's a kind of a real loose deduction game, and it just is so simple, 16 cards, and it plays so quickly. And after people play around, even the non-gamers, and I love bringing this out with my family with non-gamers, because then they play and they're like, oh, that's kind of neat. There's some intrigue in it. And I've even explained it. There's a cop I know that his family, was kind of getting into it. And I said, try this. It's a real simple card game with intrigue. And he was like, intrigue? And there is, because there's just this very interesting construct around 16 games. So, and it's really quick, plays really easy. And I think it's in a like a red felt bag.
That's another one I pack up and take to Thanksgiving. If I don't, I get stuck playing apples to apples, so it's up to me to bring fun
you love
games.
party games.
Yeah. That's why I started bringing my own.
You should. That's how you do it. You teach things that are interesting.
Okay, my number 4 filler game is Raw, the dice game. Raw, the basic game, is an auction game. This game is basically Yahtzee with a lot more strategy, but a little bit of mess with the other guy on it too, because there's just a couple ways. It's not dominated by that, but there's a couple ways where you can place things so the other guys can't place their die rolls. And then there's a scoring mechanism that is derived from the Raw auction game. If you're collecting pharaohs, if you have the most, you gain points but lose status. If you've got the least, you lose points but gain status, things like that. But it just plays 3 quick rounds. It's got a built-in timing mechanism in the game, so it doesn't go on and on and on. That's what makes it a good filler. Raw the dice game, I should mention, that Unexpected Treasures plays up to 6. This game plays up to 4. But Raw the dice game is my number 4 filler game.
I'll tell you something good about that. I mean, as far as an endorsement, I hate Raw. I call it blah.
Oh, come on.
I like that game. I heard it called Rotsy. Give me dice and say press your luck, and I'm all over it. I don't care what it is. But yeah, from somebody who hates Raw, if you hate Raw, there's a few people out there, not too many.
Hate Raw. Come on, Raw.
That is worth checking. That's worth checking out. It's really fun.
You're not getting it from me.
Dang, I'm the only Raw guy here. I like Raw.
Is mine or?
Yeah, you're up.
I'm up.
After you spread that hate and discontent.
That's right. Okay, my number 4 is Arena Roma 2. There's a game Roma 1, or Roma, I guess, and it's Steven Feld. He's some popular Eurogamer dude. I don't know who he is, but I hear the Eurogamers go on and on about him. I've only played the Roma games, and if he's that good, I see what the hype's about. This is a 2-player game, and it has luck in it. Something that's going to shock your Eurogamers. Anyways, you have your tableaus, and it's a combination of money and victory points. You got to spend money to place cards out there, but your tableau has these little discs with numbers on it, like 1 through 6. You're going to roll 3 dice, and then it activates those cards. If you have holes in your tableau, you're paying victory points at the start. This one introduces a wild card one that you also have to fill, but basically if you put it out there, you can assign any dice to it, and you're going to spend that much money to activate it. And what's cool about this is your cards can attack. I'm all about the conflict. I don't like the whole multiplayer solitaire. I am playing you. I'm not trying to get the most victory points. I'm attacking your cards. Some of these cards, like legions and things like that, it has a loose Rome theme to it. And also another advantage of this is that the first Rome game has icons on it. I'm not a big icon guy. This has icons and words, so you don't have to go over that learning curve. But it's very much an interactive game. You win by, basically the way when the victory points are gone, either you drive the other guy to 0 victory points in his stash, they're little chips, or else once they're all gone, you stop the game right then and add them up and who wins. And very fun, very interactive. It takes about 20 minutes to play. So that's my number 4, Arena Roma 2.
All right, number 3 for me is Bang the Dice Game. First played at BGG. I showed up. We're checking in. You're like, hey, we're playing Bang.
Board Game Geek Convention.
Yeah, sorry. BGG is the Board Game Geek Convention down in Dallas the week before Thanksgiving. It takes Bang the card game where someone's the sheriff and then there's hidden roles of deputies and there's bandits that are trying to kill the sheriff and there's a renegade that just wants to be the last person standing. Takes the same thing, boils it down and does what dice should do. It makes it very accessible. They add in these arrows that are coming from the Indians that are a built-in timer, and it just makes it a blast. You get that same hidden roll feeling, but there's rolling of the dice, Yahtzee style, and the arrows timing things out. It's just a hoot. It's fun. I think we played 5 games in the bar, and we just had a blast. It teaches like this. It's hand the dice, roll them, we'll kind of tell you. And then each of your individual rolls somehow tweaks or breaks the rules in a unique way for you. And then again, the hidden roll, you don't know who's the deputy, who's protecting the sheriff, who's trying to kill him. Great game.
My number 3 game was Love Letter. So Bart already mentioned Love Letter. The only 2 things I will add to it is he mentioned that there are other versions of it out there, and it's very easy. I know that somebody sat me down and said, oh, do you want to play? And I don't even remember the name of it, but do you want to play this game? And I'm like, well, yeah, sure, I'll learn. And then I saw there were 16 cards in it, so I knew what it was, and I think there was a change in one of the roles, like the princess did something in one version and does something else here. So other than that, I mean, it was very easy to pick up. It's easy to translate your ideas. The other thing, though, is unless there's a version out there I don't know of, it only plays 4. So, you know, that's something to be aware of. So it's not something, you know, if you've got a large, you know, if you've just finished a 6-player game of Here I Stand, you can't go to this as a filler. But other than that, yeah, Love Letter is my number 3 filler game.
I've got a Batman Love Letter. I want to try it. I heard it's actually pretty good. All right.
Me? Okay. What number are we on?
3.
3. My number 3 is Star Realms. I don't know who makes it. I don't know who the designer is. It is a space-based deck builder. Each deck plays 2, so you got 3 to 4 players. You're going to need another deck. If mine looks unopened, this is my backup deck. my first box is destroyed, so it's in a hard plastic, so this looks better. Anyway, it is a deck builder, and like a lot of deck builders, you start off with cards that are going to allow you to purchase and a few that attack. They're kind of weak. You're going to have cards out in the middle to buy. They're going to add up. There's 4 different empires in this you're going to go from. They all have different advantages. You have these cards, I think they call it, not awesomeness or something, prestige or something. I call it hit points if you're an older role player.
Yeah, you're damaging prestige.
Yeah. Influence or I don't know, they have some name for it.
It's kind of like their life, but it gets
you drive it down to 0 and that's what ends the game. So you're attacking. Some of the empires will add that back to it. Some of them allow you to play other cards. And if you like in most deck builders, if you string the blue cards together, whatever the blobs, I think is one of the empires, they're going to work better together, because if you have another card and that's that type, you get an extra bonus. Plays very quickly. It's like 15-20 minutes. I taught my kids this and they had a blast with it.
Yeah, this thing blew out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think it was a Kickstarter or something.
Yeah,
maybe.
It was.
It says ages 12 plus. My youngest one played it when she was 9. Of course, she's really sharp, but my other was like 11, so the 12 don't believe the hype. Anyways, really fun. I think they've made expansions on early into it, but quick. I love deck builders, and this kind of hits the essence of it. Star Realms is my number 3.
Yeah, there's actually an app if you've got a tablet, and that's where I've played it exclusively. You play through quickly. They've got a good solitaire system, and my son, who's 8, saw me playing it and immediately got into it, and it's just so intuitive. I think Playdeck, I think it's Playdeck that did the digital version.
I believe so.
It's phenomenal.
Also, they make 2 solitaire scenarios for this. I've played the Nemesis piece. It is tough. I beat it, but I win about like 1 every 4 or 5. So it's one you don't have to have another person to join. You're still going to get the whole deck building thrill out of it. Yeah,
the deck building thrill is really captured here. They did a wonderful job when you get those things triggering. And it's like, so they do a great
25 hit points.
Yeah, they do a good job. Sorry to me. Number 2, no thanks. We're going to pull it out here. Love no thanks. The only probably negative I have at all is the color is a little bit ugly. I know there's like a fan-made version of it, but who cares? The whole idea that you want to take no points if at all possible, and that the chips in your hand are how you avoid taking a card, and that if you go take that 35 numbered card that nobody wants, you just pull the pile of chips. And the secret removal of 9 cards from this deck that runs from 2 to 36, and the fact that you don't know what's in there because the lowest numbered card in your set is what you'll actually score, and that you can just be pulling in these chips, and that as people are passing, you're always working like how many chips do they have in their hand, because that's secret information. You're wanting to really chip pull if you've got a high numbered card, but you don't want to go so far that someone runs out of chips, because then they're forced to take it. Or do they take it just to keep you from getting that windfall? Plays quick, beautifully done, yeah, easy to teach. I'll teach it. I get some folks kind of, and then we play it and they're like, let's do it again.
Yeah,
I almost got to peel them off and say, hey, we can go play something that actually goes 45 minutes to an hour. So
also what's cool is you can't count cards in this, because I think you pull 9 of them out randomly at the start.
Yeah, 9 are pulled out hidden, so you don't know, where that break in the chain is going to be. Love no thanks.
Okay, my number 2 is a repeat, is Bang the Dice Game. Again, Bart talked about it. I'll just say a couple things. It's easy to teach because it's a 6-sided die. There's only 5 things you have to teach the people, because 2 of the sides are how to shoot, and then you've got arrows, the timing device, Gatling guns, dynamite, and beer, which helps you heal lives. So that's why it's so easy to teach. The one thing that's missing from Bang the Dice Game that Bang the Card Game has is the ability, especially when you're talking about a lot of players in the game, the ability in Bang the Dice Game, if you've got the right card, you can shoot anybody at the table, which can help. If you've identified, if you're an outlaw and you know that this guy, is, or if you're the renegade and you know this guy is the deputy, even though he's across the table, you can get at him. You don't have that ability in this game because because of the dice, you've got more limited range, but that's the only thing. And yes, it's a great filler. It's my number 2 filler game, Bang the Dice Game.
I start. So
we're going fast. We're going fast. My number 2 is Lost Cities by Reiner Knizia. Outside of Raw, I haven't played a lot of his bigger Tiger and Euphrates, or I think he did that, but from what I have played to him, I really dig him. And yeah, he makes Uragamis and I make fun of him. I like him. I think it's because he does this math thing in it. This is a 2-player game. My daughter and I pound these out in like 10 minutes. I mean, we're really fast at this. You got these 5 suits, and the cards are numbered 2 through 10. When you play a card down, like if I put the 4 down, I can't put the 3 or 2. I have to put one that's higher in the order. The first time you lay a card down, you're a minus 20 for that color, and then you're going to add up the rest. So you've got to get over 20 points of cards. The cool thing in it is you can't just say, well, I'm going to play something and hope I draw something good, because you play first, then draw. If you don't want to play anything down, you can put it in the middle. Now, when the person draws, they can draw your card. So you're managing what they're doing and what you're doing. You don't want to help them out too much. But it is the most stressful hand management game. I mean, it's just tense. Because I'll have this whole string of blues or something. I'm like waiting, trying to get them to put one out. They know I'm doing something bad to them. But you just get aggravated at, I don't want to play anything and I have to. What else is really cool, my 9-year-old daughter, she's in 3rd grade, learning multiplication. You got these handshake cards in there. The first one, they have to go before the 2. You have to put them down first. That will double your score, whether it's good or bad. If you don't put anything else down, you're a minus 40. The second one will triple, the third one will quadruple. So in her head, she's learning how to take 20, the difference of 20 and her cards. She's adding them all up in her head, subtracting 20 from it and multiplying. She's doing multiple steps of math in her head and catching, and it's fun. I was like, hey, you're learning math. I'll play this all day with you. And it's a lot more thrilling than doing homework. So, I mean, she was math ace at this thing, and And so I tell people, get this for your kid. And it's been reprinted. Fortunately, it was going like $50, but I saw it reprinted. I saw it at Barnes & Noble. So I think it's about a $20 game. It's one that's easy for anybody to get into. Battle Line is probably a little better, but I think this is more filler than that one is. It's also by Kinesia. And like I said, great for kids, great for anybody. It's real easy.
Phenomenal game, definitely on my short list. This is great for couples, great for kids, and I'm going to throw out, it's a wonderful app for your phone or your tablet. It ends up turning it into a solitaire game with some little hidden things like, match what the computer puts down. Every card they put down, you got to match. So there's some cool little challenges they give you to keep it spiced up in the solitaire. Great filler even on your phone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my daughter's hilarious that way. She talks trash after she started picking up and she started figuring the strategies out on her own. So there's a lot of strategy in this too. You wouldn't think at first play, but the more you play it, and she's like, "Oh, it's a shame you can't use this card anymore."
Yeah, this is another one we played at church.
Yeah.
So when things were winding down and we'd finish the one game, we'd break this out, just do it quick.
You're gonna have to see other videos to understand
We
that.
play games at church.
That's really what a filler is
Yeah.
to me. When you finish something else, what do you have time for?
Totally. Yep, 100%. Great game on my short list. My number one is Sushi Go. It's a card drafting game. They came out on Kickstarter. Now it's actually, I forget which company put it out, but they kind of even jazzed up the color palette a little bit. Works really good. Nice thing about a card drafting game is it only handles up to 5, but the speed of it doesn't change because it's look at your cards, draw one, and pass. And it just really revolves around nice. And I use Sushi Go not only as a filler, but as an opening intro for people to understand what card drafting is. It's got this great little sushi theme that's going on. There's not any, the information doesn't overwhelm you. You do 3 rounds of it, rotate that passing around, and you're done. And every time when I break this out with folks that haven't gamed before, they're like, wow, I want to do that again. And we even had a couple come over. They brought over Takedo, and they ended up brought some sake and some real sushi. And I said, I've got the perfect follow-up game if you guys want after we're done with Takedo. So it's just a very fun game. Get tons of enjoyment.
Did you play Wasabi?
No, we didn't play Wasabi.
Oh my gosh.
Wasabi, I own it. It's actually buried in a box somewhere. It's a little more gamey than I always thought it was going to be, but it's so cool with those menus and everything. And it's neat. Yeah,
make it with flair.
Yeah. With flair, if you can get them all in a row, right? Or
in the same order as they are in your card.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have to do a Wasabi thing. Very cool. What do you think of that?
Sushi Go?
Yeah.
No parties.
What?
No party game.
It's not a party game.
Okay.
It's not. It's a filler. It's a filler.
It's pretty close.
Okay, it's close, but it's still a filler. It's card drafting. Come on. If you like, no thanks.
Then that sounds so familiar. I've never played this game. I know the name, but I played a game and I wanted to say it almost had like some princess or romantic theme. I remember the whole passing the card off. I don't know if it's just been redone or just people copy. Fairy Tale.
Yeah, Fairy Tale is a Japanese card drafting game. A little bit harder to get into because it's a little more abstract. I own it. I've tried to play it, but it's nothing I can teach to brand new folks.
Okay. Almost every filler has been taught by my friend Rob, the king of fillers, I call him. That was one of them. I kept thinking, man, this sounds familiar.
Okay. Now, my number one filler game, some people might not think of as a filler, is Race for the Galaxy. Race for the Galaxy, it's hard to describe. I mean, it's a tableau building game where you're trying to it's science fiction theme, where you're either trying to build developments that will increase your technology or settle worlds, which might be good for production or good for military power. But it's basically, it's another version of San Juan, the card game, where your cards are either the things you build or what you pay to build them or the goods that they manufacture, all done by the cards. And unlike what Judd said earlier, this is a icon-driven game.
It is.
I mean, you really have to understand what all the icons are, but that doesn't bother me. What I find is when we finish, and that's why I mentioned before about what a filler really is, when we finish a game of Empire of the Sun or Advanced Squad Leader or something like that, if we've got a half hour left to kill, we will break this out and we'll play 3 games in a half hour, 2-player games. We prefer to play a 2-player. I know It can be played up to four, I think even, I think, but some of the expansions I think even make it more. Because we play it with the basic set and the first two expansions, the Gathering Storm and Rebel versus Imperium. I've played the Brink of War version, did not enjoy it as much, and I've not tried the Alien Artifacts version yet, but for the basic game and first two gamettes, this is our filler game. I mean, like I said, 3 games in a half hour. It uses up all of the bonus tokens that way. So Race for the Galaxy is my #1 filler game.
The cards are gorgeous. The art on there I love.
Yeah, I looked at San Juan when I was making this, 'cause that's my wife's favorite Uragami, and it's her favorite couples one, but we never play under 30, and I thought I couldn't justify it.
Okay.
We're just not fast enough to play it. So anyways, I do love that one, but...
And the iconography, I feel dumb when I play it. I can never. I need my
and
cheat sheet.
And I get it.
Play it about.
I get it.
Play it like 5 times in a row.
That's what I would.
And then I
to
just
do.
keep mentioning to people, don't forget, I'm a social player, so all of the tableaus are up in front of everybody. So, when we play, I still frequently say, oh, and don't forget, you get to draw a card before you decide if you're going to build a development because of this thing here. Oh, you could sell your guy here, but if you sell it here, you'll get an extra 2 cards. So
Yeah, you're great on that. I played this, I think, with a cutthroat guy. And he was like, wow, that was dumb. And I'm like, yeah, that was what I did was dumb.
yeah, exactly.
My #1 is Cold War CIA versus KGB. I wondered if it's filler. It says on the back 30 to 60 minutes. So when I wrote my friend Rob and said, hey, what's your list? He put this on and said, okay, filler. We play at 30. We're fast.
Who's Rob again?
Oh, he's a buddy of mine from back. Oh, actually,
I
he designed.
well, I feel
he
like
designed
this is
Galaxy.
his pick.
Yeah, no, he didn't have it #1. He's the designer of Galaxy Command, which I wish I could play it to see if it make this list. I haven't got it yet. Anyway, this is a game. It's interesting. It's a blackjack mechanic. It's very fun. You'll have some country out there you're fighting over. It might be like Vietnam, and it says you get to play up to 5 cards, and you can't break 12 points. If you do, boom, you're automatically out, and if your agent's going to die, you have these agents that help you out at the end of when it's all settled. And what's cool is you'll play these cards with points on them, and then they have a power. You turn them sideways. You get to use it once. And like one of them will kill a card either on your side or on the other side. Sometimes you want to kill one of yours because it's kind of got you in between and it's just a crappy card. Some of them will allow you to flip the card back up and reuse it again. One will let you look at a card and I think you get to put on the bottom or play it. And you can trade cards with the other guy, but you can't make them bust. And when you're all done, like sometimes one of the agents, if you lose, you actually win. So there's this whole double crossing. You're trying to figure out what's going on, and it's very tense because you're sitting there trying to figure out what his angle is, what your angle is, and very fun game. Plays really quick, and you play up till somebody scores 200 points. But if you want to make it real fast filler, just knock it down 50, 100, whatever, and you can customize it for the time slot you have. But that's
what do you get points for? The country?
If I win,
like what would be a tip? Cuba?
Yeah, Cuba would be in there.
And how many would that be?
You might get 10 or 20 points, 15, 5, depending on the size.
Yeah, just curious how many tricks you're talking about.
And they have various amounts of cards you're allowed to play, and some might be 5 cards with 20 points, and but as far as the break number, then it's worth so many. And then some of the countries, if you get it, will activate a power, like draw one off the bottom and win. So, anyways, love the game. Cold War, KGB versus CIA by Fantasy Flight.
Excellent.
HAMTAG.
I'm full.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay, cool.
You get it? He's full.
We're full of fillers.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we
There
got
we
a
go.
lot of tater tots.
That's right.
Okay.
HAMTAG.
We're out of here.
Bye.